Okay, hello. Welcome back to the Fenty Health and Fitness Podcast, where we bridge the gap between pros and you. I'm your host, Jack Fenty. I'm here to bring you expert insights with a friendly twist. Let's embark on our journey to a happy, healthier you. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Kristi, very esteemed breathwork coach. I'll let her take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jack. I'm so grateful to be here. Hello, all to your listeners. Oh, the breath. Well, breath is who we are, and it comes into your life at the moment that you need it, just like anything else. This modality came into my life about 4 years ago, and many people might say, wow, only 4 years, but I believe it's my purpose. It's what I came here to do and to share. And it came into my life through my own healing. We all have this story, and that story is just a story, but those experiences bring trauma and energies into our body. And it started with me at a very, very young age. And then what spiraled me down and to really stumble upon this faster was when I lost my parents about 7 years ago, 5 days apart. And, again, that's just a story. And yeah, it was hard, but it was what I needed. A lot of the times to awaken, we need something big to trigger in our lives. And for me, it was that. I started to not feel good. I was miserable in my job that I've had for 15 years. I was very good at it, but I wasn't happy. It wasn't my purpose. And I just wasn't feeling good. And someone I worked with was like, you need to go somewhere. You're not doing well. And I'm like, I know. And luckily I had that person. Some of us need someone to just kind of push us and say, you need to do this. And so I went to Sedona, which if you haven't been, is a magical spiritual place. Just entering as you drive into that whole valley area, you just feel the power and the presence in that moment. And I was like, wow, this is where I'm meant to be. And so I went to a 4-day spirit awakening retreat, not knowing what I was getting into. I just went in all by myself, never done anything like this, but I knew it was right. It felt right. And so I met with someone new every couple hours, 4 days straight. And the very last thing was breath work. And I was like, what is breath work? Like, we did a lot of meditation. I've heard of meditation. I never really had done it. But breath work was tripping me up. I'm like, every therapist I met, I would be like, what is the breath work? And they were like, I can't really explain it. You're just going to have to do it. And luckily, no one told me anything, because to have an expectation, I feel, would have ruined the experience. It was 2 hours. It was mind blowing. I went somewhere else. I was with the stars and the moon and this bodily sensations. I had never felt my own vibrations in my life because I was living outside of my body. And your breath brings you back in. And the healing that happened in that moment, I was one that I drank a lot. I wasn't addicted to alcohol, but I did have to drink in order to have fun. I was addicted to Adderall for a while. I just had to keep distracted. I didn't want to live in my body and live in the pain that I had experienced in my life. And the breath brought me back to all of it. I cried, I screamed, I laughed. It was just an experience that you hope everyone can experience once in their lifetime, honestly. And the beautiful thing about breath work is it's free. It's there for you all the time. I mean, you're breathing every day, all day, about 25,000 breaths a day. And so why not breathe consciously and know what you're doing and have an intention behind it, And intention is the key to life. And I never lived with intention in my whole life. I was letting life happen to me. And when you start to live with intention, life starts to happen through you. And you're co-creating with, source, God, spirit, whatever, you or your listeners connect to. It's important to connect to something, to have some sort of faith or trust in something. Because there is something holding us all here. There is something bigger going on. And we're all a part of that. And so through the breath, I felt that connection. I felt that trust. I was able to feel safe. I was able to release whatever was releasing from my body in that moment. I had never taken another Adderall after that day. I've done other modalities that I've never had another drink of alcohol in the last 3 years, which was through ayahuasca, which we could talk about as well. But my specialty is breath work, and I just love it. I believe in it. It's so healing, and it's something you can do every single day. Every single day. I breathe for a minimum of 10 or so minutes every single morning. The morning breath is more to just balance my body, bring it from an acidic state to an alkaline state so that I really feel aligned and inspired. So I'm not just waking up all frumpy, mopey, like, it's another day. And there's something about it that gives you a little sparkle in your day, and you can start to, live with an intention from the moment you wake up. because you're setting an intention as soon as you breathe, you know?
That's incredible. Could you tell me a little bit about your daily practice?
Yes.
So for you personally as a breath coach, how do you integrate that into your daily rise and getting prepared for the mental battles or preparation that you have to deal with throughout
for sure.
the day?
So I have a morning ritual. I believe it's important that everybody should. I've always been a morning person, so that is something that comes easy for me, but I do wake up an hour before my family. I have 2 young children and a husband who are all amazing, but I want to have time for myself, and that's so important, and it's a gift that I give myself every day, and it's a form of self-love. It really is. And sometimes, yes, it's hard to hear that alarm go off at 5, but I know that I'm going to feel better if I get up and I do it. And so I will wake up, I breathe first, because that really sets my mind on the right path and it quiets everything down. Because, you know, as soon as we wake up, we're already like, oh, what do I got to do today? Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, no. All of these things. And it's like, what? No, shh, quiet. We're not even there yet, and we're already there. So I'll breathe for 10, 15, or 20 minutes. Just depends on what I feel like doing, what playlist I want to play, and that really just sets my day. And then after that, I do a meditation, whether it's a gratitude meditation or just a meditation in silence to be with myself. And then I do a body movement, whether that's dancing to one song or it's an hour of yoga. I don't know, whatever I have time for or feel like doing, but body movement is so important because we want to be in the body, and there's something healing about that. Just to really feel into, how am I feeling? What's going on in this body that I get to play with every day? So I do that every single day. So it's about an hour that I set for myself. And then later on, middle of the day or afternoon, I also do sauna for 20 minutes and cold plunge every day for 5. And I truly believe in the gifts of cold. It's changed my life. I went to a Wim Hof retreat last summer with my husband in Spain, and that guy is amazing. If anybody ever has the time to go and see him in person, he is the most incredible human you will ever meet. Like, he's everything you see and more. He's so down to earth. He hugs everybody. He just brings his ukulele all around wherever we go, and he's just playing, and it's just all love, and you just are like, wow, this is what life is meant to be. So the cold has changed my life big time, and my husband. So that's something we do every single day. But that's pretty much it.
What's your format for cold modalities? Is it like an ice barrel, or is it, how do you?
Well, I'm really lucky. Well, for a while I did just ice in my tub. I live in a high-rise building, and so I'm just super lucky with what we have here. There's a lounge on the 3rd floor, so there's a big ice machine. So I was literally filling my coolers up, filling it with ice, because, you know, ice it can cost a lot if you're constantly,
expensive.
It is. And I get that. And, you know, Wim Hof always says you can literally just take a cold shower, and most people's showers are under that 60-degree mark, which is where you want it to be. But I don't even think ours in California gets under 60, honestly. It's never that cold. So I was just putting ice in the tub every day. And then finally I begged the building to get a cold plunge. This building has a lot of amenities, and I know it's the thing that everyone is doing. And it took a little while, but we got it. So now I have a cold plunge tub on the 3rd floor, and it's activated the entire space. I meet people down there. We're talking in the sauna about what, you know, it's just like, it's just amazing, the community that it brings. And everybody's awakening to this healing work that's being spread across this planet right now. You know, a lot of people look at COVID as a bad thing. And I get that because, you know, I didn't lose anybody through COVID. So I understand that I didn't have to experience that part of it. But I also believe that COVID was not an accident. If you can look at the good that came out of it and how many people are awakening and quit their 9-to-5 jobs and sitting in traffic half of their life, and they're like, I don't have to do that anymore. And the meditations that are coming, I mean, everybody is like, wow, this is what we're meant to be doing. And so it was all meant to be, all of it. It was all aligned. It really was. I know a lot of people say it was planted in this and government. I don't believe that. I believe everything is meant to be, everything, every moment, good or bad. There is no good or bad. It's all just for our awakening and for our greater good.
That's incredible. So what inspired you to make the transition from doing personal breath work as a practice in your individual life to sharing it with others and helping people along their journey?
Well, one, I wanted everyone to experience what I experienced. I knew there was something about, I'm like, there's something to this. And so as soon as I had left that moment in Sedona, I live in LA, and I was like, I got to find it immediately. So I found it at a studio that does meditations, and it just happened to be the girl that I fell in love with was doing her first training ever. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to jump into that. And I did all her trainings, and then I just started sharing it. And it's crazy when you do stuff like this, the people that just come to you are like, oh, I want to try. And so I was very busy. And then COVID hit, and it's like, who wants to breathe with somebody? Oh, I don't want to breathe. I'm covered up. And it was like the very thing that heals us was taken away from us. It's like, wait, what? We can't even breathe properly now. So there were a few people, obviously, that were still open to allowing me to hold space for them in person. But the beautiful thing about COVID was Zoom. Look at us. Like, look at this. We get to share this gift and these messages with the entire planet, and you don't have to leave your home. So I believe in that too. Like, this wouldn't be a thing if we didn't have that moment. And so I do Zoom every Wednesday with 2 different groups, and I can do one-on-ones through Zoom. But you know, the fun of it really is to get a big group together in person, go into a backyard. I have a kid pool I blow up. We put 50 bags of ice in it. We breathe, we dance, and then we jump in the ice. I mean, it is like the most magnificent feeling. You're on this high that you can't explain, and it's all natural. No drugs, none. It's just high off our own chemicals that breath is creating and stabilizing and bringing your body and back into harmony, and you're just letting everything outside go. All the bullshit, all of it. Just let all that go, because none of it's real. None of it matters. But all of those moments brought you to that healing moment. It brought you in because you wanted to feel better. We all just want to feel good. At the end of the day, that's all this is. We just want to heal and feel good. And we're meant to. We're meant to.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what advice would you give to somebody who's experienced that type of trauma and looking for ways to heal and essentially find their purpose? Do you think breathwork can be a positive modality 100%. In that?
You know, I believe that we are given what we need in the moment that we need it. And yeah, of course, breathwork might not be for everybody, but breathwork, that breath goes into your cells, and our body has every memory of everything we've ever been through, but our conscious mind has no, like half the time we don't remember the traumas we've experienced. And that breath will go in there when you pull it into that belly, and it pulls it out. So when we're about 15, 20 minutes into the experience, you start to cry and we scream together, and it's just releasing energy that cannot naturally be released by just your everyday in and out, inhale, exhale, and you're just doing your thing. And so this will bring you into a wholeness and a healing that you can't explain. And it's for everybody. It really is. And it's just a matter of when it's for you, like when you're ready for it, I should say, because it can be intense. It really can. There's people that have literally purged through breath work. And sometimes that doesn't happen without some plant medicine or something. That can happen. And I've seen results where people find the partners of their dreams, and they quit the jobs that they've been in, and they're just like, I'm ready. I'm feeling inspired to do what I've always wanted to do. And that's what it's all about. You know, this gift, it's just a gift that we have, and it's available all the time.
That's incredible. Could we circle back to your journey around ayahuasca? I find it really interesting, because I think a lot of what you're saying around intention and going in with like an aligned vision to come out with some goal or clarity is a lot of the processes that I hear around ayahuasca, that like when you're preparing for it, it's not something that you just partake in, it's something that you journey into, and it's like you have to go in with intention and then cleanse your body multiple weeks leading up to it. And it's almost like if you're looking at on that ring of different psychoactive healing medicinal drugs like cannabis or psychedelic mushrooms, that's typically the one that people would consider being the pinnacle of within those type of healing modalities. So I'd love to hear your perspective and experience on it, sure. And your interpretation.
You know, it's another one of those things, don't do it until you really are feeling called. It is very intense. And the most important thing was how it just organically landed in my life, because you want to make sure you're going to a shaman that knows what they're doing. Bottom line, you can watch all the documentaries and that a lot of those will scare you, because it shows you how people have been hurt through ayahuasca and had like very, traumatizing experiences. And that's the opposite of what we want to happen. So I was so lucky to have found a shaman from Colombia. He's in LA now, and he travels around, but he is a magician. And you have to be on pretty much a vegan diet the week of, leading up to it. For the women, you cannot be on your moon, which is your cycle for the month. So there's a lot of things that go into it. So when you get the invitation to do it and you go through all that, it's just meant to be when you can get through all of that. And I mean, that in itself, you also can't be on prescription medications. And so there's a lot of things that go into taking the plant. This plant medicine, like, it's wild to me how many people will say, oh, I don't know, it's a drug. But it's not. There is no chemical in it. And the planet, this Mother Earth, has created this for us. Like, it's just being given to us. It's this gift that the divine is like, take this and I will heal you. Let's do this together. Participate in your healing, participate in your life. And here it is, like, being given to us. But of course, it needs to be the right time. It's something that you go through for about 9 hours. And for me, I tend to have very intense ceremonies. The ayahuasca, the first one, was just a lot of crying, so much crying that the next day I was like, wow. There were people there that have come like every weekend. And I was like, how do you guys do this all the time? This is like a lot. And then literally 2 days later, the clarity and the high that you have with your energy, it's something that you're like, aha, I get it. This is why you come back. This was it. It all made sense. And so I did ayahuasca 9 times over the span of about 1.5 years. I did psilocybin a couple times. That I didn't really love. I love the purging. I feel the purging, you feel like something left my body. It's not like a normal like throw up. It's not. It's this energy that's coming out that you can't explain. And like when you're looking in the bucket and you're just like so grateful and you're just thanking the medicine and thanking the divine. And it's really a spiritual, powerful moment. And you're just connecting with all these people in a circle. There's about 7 or 8 of us at a time. And so I did all that. I've done combo once. Combo is the toad medicine, and I didn't really enjoy that experience. I just didn't feel what I was meant to get out of that. And you spoke about intention, and it's funny because I feel like almost that experience, I went in it just expecting something, which is different than having an intention. I was just expecting it to do what everyone says it does, and it didn't. And I didn't go in it with anything. I was like, I'm just here to do it. 2 other friends invited me. So that was a moment of, I'm not going to do anything ever again without it being something that I know is meant for me when it's ready and with an intention. And so this Friday, I just went to a white lily ceremony, and there was something about even the name of it that felt so gentle. And in my life, I've been very hard on myself, like most of us are. I feel like if it's not something like ayahuasca, it's not going to do anything for me. So I went to white lily, and basically what that is, it's the lily plant, and it's put into capsules. And that part of the ceremony is to open your heart. And I'm talking about open. You are in your body for like about 2 hours or so, and you're in so much self-love. It's just like we're all just like sitting, there's 25 of us in a house. And we're just all like, wow, like rubbing like ourselves and just like loving our bodies again. And then the facilitator comes around again with a tea, and it's just a little bit of ayahuasca and psilocybin with some orange juice and apple juice. So our hearts are open and we're getting ready. Like we feel safe. It's like, okay, now I'm ready. So then you drink that, and I still felt pretty good. I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to come all the time. This is what I want to feel all the time. So then all of a sudden I noticed people taking something. I'm like, what are you guys taking now? Like, what's going on? And so the facilitator, he's very intuitive, and he gives when you're ready. And if you ask, he'll give, and he knows how much to give you. It's wild. So I'm like, I want to do it. And so chocolate bars was what he was handing out next. And I felt like the piece I had was huge because it was so chalky and hard to swallow at that point. I was like, oh my God. And then I'm like sitting there like, okay. And then there's the space in the house that it's a silent room. And I kept walking by the room because it's on the way to the bathroom. I'm like, that room looks so boring. I don't want to go in there. I'm having so much fun. We were all dancing. And so I go into the silent room, and I just was like, I got to do it. And then everything turned and shifted, and things got really dark. The shadows started coming up. For my story, I was molested by my mom, and I don't remember the moments of it. It was a flashback that came to me after my parents had crossed. And so that was very hard to not know how to talk to her about it and why. And I don't know if she even fully remembered it because our relationship was always a little awkward, but I never understood why. And so all of that started to come up on Friday to a point where all of a sudden I was purging in a scream I have never screamed in my life. A lot of people like me will say they're not angry. I've never been angry. I'm just not an angry person. But to imagine your 6-year-old self going through something like that, she's angry. and she let it out on Friday. So the plant medicine to me is something that when you're ready, you just go for it, because it heals an energy within you that is very hard to get out with just breath work or meditation, or it's something so deep that most of us don't feel safe enough releasing until we are out of the way. And the plant medicine gets you out of the way, and the divine just takes over. You just have to surrender.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear your perspective on that, because I hear a lot of people have the fundamental belief that they'll have a bad trip or something along those lines. And I hear a lot of other people have the perspective that it's a bad trip because you didn't face what was brought up within that circumstance, whatever that feeling of sadness or whatever that situation was. It was an inner demon or something that you had to confront and you turned from.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has any actual findings, or if that was something that you could resonate with or have an opinion on. But that's something I've heard in the past.
A lot of people they probably would experience what I experienced and said, oh my God, I had the worst night of my life, or that was a terrible trip. And that just meant they weren't ready, or their intention was not deep enough, honestly, because to be okay with what I went through, I asked for it, and I trust and believe, like, the way I feel this week is indescribable. Like, I wish everybody could just bottle this up and take a sip of whatever happened to me, because it is that amazing. Like, and this is how we're meant to feel. Like, I'm just trying to hold on to this. So again, it's someone that either went into it with all the wrong intentions, or they just weren't ready. They just were not ready. And it was kind of something that was pushed onto them. So you really have to ask within your heart. And, I've been doing that a lot lately. When I'm just not sure about something, one, if you don't know what to do nothing. Don't do anything. Maya Angelou says that. When you don't know what to do in the moment, don't do anything. And so I've been playing around with that lately and asking my heart, like just sitting with a question and just see what rises. Like, am I ready to do something like this? Is this my moment? Maybe there's something else, but you don't live your life and all the traumas, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm just going to go straight to ayahuasca. You've never meditated. You've never even done breath work, because breath work in itself, for people that have never done it, it's intense. Your body's vibrating, things are moving. And then again, it's something that you've never felt. We are vibrating all the time. All the time. You're vibrating right now, but you're not feeling it because you're so distracted. So with that breath work in itself, like, that's where you start. Just start there. Just give yourself that. And then slowly you can get into the deeper work.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely felt that at your breath work. I think it was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, when I was on the floor, you absolutely can feel that energy resonate within.
It's just so amazing.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. One question I had for you was more along the lines of, if somebody has that stuck energy and somebody has those limiting beliefs or perception that they have to do something, where it's like that stillness and presence allows you to see outside yourself and think from the heart rather than the head, what would you give to someone from the perspective of advice to, if they're stuck in their head or stuck in their intention or practices? How do they get unstuck?
I would easily, I'm going to take you and your listeners through a practice, which hopefully those that listen to this can just hold on to it. It's just 13 minutes of your day, and it resets everything. Everything just begins to make sense. Whatever you were stuck in, you're no longer stuck. It's like, it is seriously a miracle drug. It's like, and it's just your breath. And so we'll be doing that in a moment, but it's either that, or even just taking, 10 deep inhales into the belly. And I'm talking deep, like you pucker up your lips and then you push it all out. Just doing that 10 times, you're gonna feel lightheaded and woozy and be like, whoa. Just do that. And all of a sudden you're like, I feel a little different. I'm all of a sudden not thinking about what I was thinking about. Something just shifted. It works. It's that quick. It's that quick. Yeah.
That's incredible. Should we get started on the breathing practice?
So it'll be about 13 minutes, and this you can literally do sitting up. Most of my ceremonies are a little longer, and you want to lie down so you can let go more. But this is just 13 minutes to clear your mind, to feel good, and to let go. If you can lie down, not you, but your listeners, if they ever do that, of course, lie down, just so you can really surrender the body into the earth. And you can do this practice every single day. Every morning, start with this. Every morning, yeah. So if you could share my screen. Oh, you did? Perfect.
Oh, I can.
Oh,
screen. I think
that's perfect.
So
okay, wonderful. Let me share my screen here. So I'm going to do my music. Okay. So for everyone that's listening, if you could just close your eyes. There's nothing to see. And you're just going to listen to my guidance. And what we're going to be doing is just breathing in the nose and out the mouth first. In the nose and out the mouth. And then we're going to hold just for a short moment. And then the next breath for the next song, we're going to go 2 in the nose and 1 out the mouth. And I'll show you what this looks like in a moment. And then the last song, it's going to be 2 inhales through the mouth and 1 out. So the first one is in the nose, push it out. In the nose, push it out. And then we're going to go 2 in the nose, 1 out, 2 in, 1 out. And remember, every inhale is so deep, it's going into the belly. We're not chest breathing. That keeps us in our head and in a state of anxiety. We're going into the belly, relaxing, parasympathetic. Everything is like, I can rest. Okay, I get it. And then the last breath is the one that tricks people up a little bit. So you want to first breathe into the belly. Then you pull that breath into the heart. And then you exhale. And this breath is really the heart opener. This is where the song has more words, and it's meant to trigger you. It's meant to make you feel a little emotional. So if tears start to flow, wonderful. If they don't, it's okay. We just want to relax the body, relax into this, and trust the breath. And then the very last song is just 3 minutes of doing nothing. But what we are going to do is we're going to hold the breath. So you're going to hold all the way to the top. And just imagine this breath is just kind of floating around in the head. You know, you're just like letting it work its way down. It's going through the heart and into the belly. It's just going into the cells as it's holding in there. And if you've never held your breath before, by the time we do this, your body's so full of oxygen, you're totally fine. You're safe. Nothing's going to happen to you. So just trust it all, okay? All right, let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to play the first song right now. And I just want you to inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So if you could just keep that rhythm, just keep breathing, surrendering to this beautiful moment. You are here. You are alive. You said yes to this beautiful life. You breathe into the belly. Push it out. That's it. In and out. Just remember, you might start to get a little lightheaded, feel a little tingling. It's all normal. Just let go. Just be with whatever rises. We're letting go of control. We're letting go of any expectations. And now while we're together for just another few moments, I want you to set an intention. Come on, what is it that you need? Why are you listening to this podcast? Why are you here? You're curious. You want to feel good. You want to breathe with intention always. You want to live with intention. Breathe that in. Push it out. Keep breathing in and breathing out. Just observing the thoughts that you're having. Maybe you give them some grace and love in this moment. The breath quiets all that down, out of the mind and into the heart. Breathe it in. Push it out. Keep going. We're gonna do a short hold here. Listen to my guidance. We're gonna take a deep inhale in 3. Fill all the way up in 2. And 1, breathe in. Hold the breath at the top, and I want you to swallow that beautiful breath. Let it drop into your heart. Let it sit there as you hold. Rest in the stillness. Sighing this out in 3, 2, and 1. And now it's 2 in the nose. Push it out of the mouth. 2 in. You're doing amazing. 2 in and 1 out. Right now, as we nose breathe, we're boosting the nitric oxide into the body. Circulation of nutrients through the blood. Feel that. And as you feel the sensations, begin to dream. What's the life that you're meant to have? What is it you want? Breathe it in. 2 in and out. In and out. Just feel, become alive. There's so much more happening than your mind could ever understand. Just feeling this breath. You know you are the breath. You are spirit. This is you. Become the breath. Feel the breath as you pull it in through the crown, through the center of the brain, through the throat, through the heart, through the solar plexus, into the belly. Be that. Start to feel this deep connection to life, to this beautiful Mother Earth that holds you, to the stars and the moon and the sun above you, all connected. We are meant to feel good. Remembering that intention, why you're here. Co-create this experience, participate in it. And everything you desire will happen. It'll all unfold. Let's do another short hold. Inhale in 3. Just listen to my guidance in 2. And 1. Inhale all the way to the top. I want you to swallow that breath. And now I want you to gently, don't push it out. I want you to gently release the air. Release, release till you have about 10% left. And just hold. Stay right there. Feel the peace. Feel the love all around you. Just hold, relax into it. You are safe. You're being guided. And the next breath, remember, is 2 in and 1 out. First into the belly. In 3, 2, pucker up the lips, through the mouth. Up to the heart. Push it out. That's it. Belly. Heart. That's it, you guys. That's all we're here to do, is to awaken together, to guide each other home, to connect, to heal, to inspire, to awaken to the truth of who we are. Love and light. That's it. Every experience in your life was meant to be, and it brought you right here. That's why you're here. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. for joining us in this moment. Feel it. Enjoy it. It's yours. It's magic. That's it. Feel the magic. Open the heart. Let all the walls around your heart break down and just feel rises. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Only have about 2 more minutes. Come on, let's go. Breathe, belly, heart. Exhale. Coming home back to you. You're calling all your energy back on to you. That energy can be used for you to heal, for you to use your creative essence. That's what we're doing. Bringing the coherence back into the body. Aligning all the energy centers as you pull that beautiful breath in. And now I welcome you to speed the breath up. We're almost going to hold again, and it's going to be a longer hold, so you go a little faster here. Keep going, you're almost there. Take a deep inhale in 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way. Hold it and swallow the breath. Let it drop into your heart. And I want you to hold as long as you can. You'll be surprised. Your body is full of oxygen. Bring all your awareness behind your third eye. Once you let go of the breath, I want you to just rest in stillness. Don't move. Let the healing happen to you. Let spirit move through you. Just feel your energy move. Feel the peace and the love. Once you let go of the hold, you just fall into this natural rhythm, like you're falling asleep. It's a gentle breath. Just allowing and receiving this beautiful gift. Just allowing this beautiful light, loving energy to pour down through you. can slowly begin to become more conscious of the breaths, extending the inhales and the exhales, and you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. If you have the gift of time and can rest in this longer, please do. I usually rest for at least 8 to 10 minutes. This was only about 2.5. Allow it to integrate and embody this feeling that you have. And then you just gently come back and you be gentle with yourself. You can be a little lightheaded, a little dizzy. So you want to take your time and you want to drink a lot of water, and you want to do this every day, guys. Just do it every day and you will see a shift in your life so fast, because you got to understand that we're moving energy. We're not just telling the story. We're moving the energy that's underneath that story, and that's how you heal. I'm so grateful for everybody that has joined us. I'm so grateful for you, Jack. Thank you for this invitation. This has been so fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much, Kristi. This has been wonderful.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. I should wrap up the podcast here. Guys, thank you so much for listening.
See what the breath, you're like, where are we? What planet am I on?
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Tuning in as always. I'll see you next time. Thank you.